the toss because they are playing down the slope. If you're not familiar with this ground at Bedford, there's a considerable slope that goes from left, the top end of the pitch, down to the right-hand corner. And Cian, have you played here before?
I haven't, no.
New experience for you.
Yeah.
The slope does play a part, particularly in the second half. So, Jay Tarua kicks along. Jared Williams fields it in the 22, and they take the ball outside the 22. We are not far from Carnegie's 22, so we've got a fair old way to have a look down the field. Taking a long time to get this clearance off the park. Lee Dixon, experienced of course, scrum half, 18 caps for England, puts in a box kick. Elder takes it on the halfway line. He goes straight. Oh, just grabbed by the bootlaces. Quickly across to Tarua. Missed pass there, and Dan Tem, wearing 4 but playing like a 3/4, has the ball. And it's been stolen on the ground. Bedford have it back up to the Carnegie 10-metre line on the far side of the pitch. And now they come back in centre field. Josh Bainbridge trying to disrupt, but they couldn't. And now Bedford putting the ball through hand. Good tackle coming in there from Miles Thorogood. Penalty conceded, says the referee, Matt Turvey. So it'll be a penalty to Bedford. 15 metres in from this near touchdown, just inside their half. Fast start from both sides, Cian.
Yeah. I think we might have come out of blocks a little bit slow. We know, I think last week we lost the aerial battle, which let us down a big bit. So I think that'll be big today. So we need to try and play off counter-attack if we can, like Bedford will. That
penalty was kicked to touch just a half a metre outside the Carnegie 22, and it will be Jacob Fields, Bath Academy player or former Academy player to throw in. Didn't look straight, went to the tail. Referee is playing on. And now again the forwards driving in. Looks as if it's the captain Flanagan, whose cousin is Devon Toner, 6'7". Carnegie doing their best to slow that ball down, but it's Dixon that gets it out to Williams, who is standing out. He's a man mountain, and Tem tries to rip it, can't. Ball comes back to Dixon. Drop goal attempt from Jake Sharp. It just goes to the right of the post, and Elder is there. He's going to dab this one down. It'll be a dropout. 22. Just need some territory.
Yeah.
Carnegie. That's the voice of Cian Romaine, who is from Ealing. I'm not sure if you're going back down there tonight, are you?
Yeah. Oh. No, that's where I went to school. I didn't live too far from there.
Oh, right, yep. Restart. Bounces. Oh, and Thorogood put an arm out, but he's knocked it on. The referee's playing advantage, although he hasn't got his arm out. And Bedford still seeing a lot of the ball. There's a hit coming in from the number 6, Lewis Wilson, but play continues and the kick through. Bedford playing territory, playing up the slope. Kerry is there. He's going to have to hurry up. Manages to swivel past one tackle. And Nico is there trying to clear it out as well. The ball is there for Carnegie, but it's been turned over once again. That's the second turnover for Bedford. Great start for the home side, playing up this considerable slope here at Goldington Road. Now they go to the right hand side. Another little jab through. It looked as if it was Rich Lane, the fullback, that tried to put boot to ball. It's going to be a scrum down, and I think it'll be Bedford's feed. They're certainly varying the play, Cian.
Yeah. No, Bedford have been keeping the play down in Carnegie's third, so it'd be important for Carnegie to relieve a bit of pressure with the scrum.
And they always say when you play down the slope, you've got to make maximum advantage and get as many scores on the board as you can.
Exactly, yeah. Well, that's what I think they were thinking of with the drop goal, just to get some points on the board.
So we have played 4 minutes here at Goldington Road, Bedford, and it's Bedford Blues 0, Carnegie 0. Round 16 of the Greene King IPA Championship here on BBC Radio Leeds. So it's a scrum down on the 22 on the far side of the field, and it'll be Bedford to feed through Lee Dixon there, scrum half, who is off to be rugby master at Barnard Castle School at the end of the season. He is retiring, but what an influence he's been both for the Saints and now here. Of course, he had a considerable spell at Newcastle Falcons. He's a player coach. The front rows go to ground, so they're going to have to do it again. Sean McCarthy, Jacob Fields and Alex Penny up against an experienced front row for Carnegie, Mark Thomas, Joe Buckle and Craig Mitchell. So scrum down. Front rows go to ground again. The referee showing a little bit of patience, thankfully. Oh, and now there's a scrap. Of course, there's a headlock there on JB Brasilier, who's he's not short of giving as good as he gets, is he? Not that I'm advocating it, but of course these days you can't throw any punches,
Exactly,
can you?
Yeah.
And Bedford, if their website is right, have Will Carrot Smith in the second row, who's 6'11". Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Well, after that kerfuffle, it's a penalty to Bedford on the 22. They're not going for the 3 points, they're going for the corner. And that is a superb kick. It's gone into touch 5 metres from the Carnegie line on the far side of the field. So Carnegie, despite playing down the slope, have had an awful lot of defending to do. And it is Flanagan, the captain, that takes it. Now the forwards drive to the Carnegie line. They're up to the line, they're over the line, the ball is down, the referee's arm is in the air, and Bedford have the opening score of the game. We're in the 7th minute here, and Bedford, with their conversion to come, lead by 5 points to 0. That was, you'd be proud of that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that was a good driving ball, I have to say.
Hard to defend when you're that close to the line.
It is, it's a tough job.
And I'm not sure if the referee was going to give a penalty before that scrap started.
I'm not sure. There obviously must have been a penalty coming from the infringement at the scrum. I think it gets heated within the front row all the time, so I'm not surprised there's a bit of a scuffle, so refs often just let it slide. Discipline
is important, isn't it, in games like this?
No, you've got to keep a level head.
So that is going to be Sharp. Looks like Sharp with the conversion. Kicked 13 points last time Bedford played their home game, and he is successful. And Bedford lead by 7 points to 0. I'm not sure who that try scorer was under a massive body.
One of the forwards.
Score Blue 7. Yorkshire Carnegie 0.
So restart is again long, and again it's Jared Williams that takes it. Sharp is in the pocket, and he finds an excellent touch on halfway. What a boot that fly half has got. And Carnegie, just at the moment, Cian, just can't get a foothold in Bedford's half.
I think this line out was a good opportunity to start something and get a bit of play into the Bedford.
I assume Matt Smith is calling the line-outs. Dan Tem is he receives a fair bit of line-out ball as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, the two of them would be our biggest line-out operators.
Oh, it's over the top. It's knocked on though by Flanagan. The referee's playing advantage. That was fortunate for Carnegie, who trail here by 7 points to 0. 8 minutes played. Bainbridge on the halfway line, just a little dummy there, and Carnegie need to get to the breakdown. Bedford not committing that many men to the breakdown, Cian.
No.
Box kick from the Carnegie scrum half. It's going to land on the 22. Adamson gets it. Now he is a try-scoring machine. Dances past one. Can't let him go.
Dangerous.
Definitely dangerous, as is the other winger, Hutler. Got him down as and scored 12 tries so far in the league this season, just outside the 22. Carnegie doing a good job at the moment of keeping them down in this area of the field. Just coming through there, but Bedford managing to retain possession. Extended leg, giving Bedford scrum half Dixon some time to get this box kick away. It's going to land just shy of the halfway. Elder plucks that out of the air, did ever so well to rescue this under an awful lot of pressure. Comes back from Mitchell. Kiri long pass there to the new number 8. Oh, and there's a real tussle on the floor. Gets away. It's Kiri gets the ball to supporting players. Now Brasilia back to Mitchell on the halfway lane, back inside to Josh Bainbridge. Gets no change out to the Bedford defence. Brasilia with a sensible kick over the heads of everybody. Fullback Lane has to go back and fetch the ball. Left-footed, kicks it into touch on the far side of the field. Really good crowd here for Friday night rugby. Carnegie will be desperate to get some points in this section of the field. They've got a line out on the far side, midway between, I think it's actually on the Bedford 10-metre line. The position that we're at doesn't make it too obvious. Goes to the tail. This time it's successful, and it's Matt Smith that takes it. Long pass, and now they try to drive up the middle. Quick ball. Having to dig this one out. A little flip pass there from the hooker, Buckle. No, Nico takes a lot to bring him down. Takes two. Really contested ball on the floor. Now Thomas swivels, comes back looking for support again. 30 metres out. Tarua, quick line speed from Bedford. They're up very, very quickly. As Mitchell was the ball carrier. Tarua across the line there for Scythe. One-handed pass to Lucock, captain for the night. And it's Elder that's playing scrum half. Suffocating defence at the moment from Bedford.
Yeah, it's tough to get through.
Taria, I think he thought about a crossfield kick, but again just driving up the middle, the tactics. Tarua, a little chip through there. Has he overcooked it? Yes, he has, unfortunately.
I think that just shows how strong Bedford's defence was there. We were forced to go for a kick.
Yeah, in the end it was the only option open to him, really. He just unfortunately overcooked it. And Miles Thorogood was racing through, hoping that it was going to land for him. Scored an absolute belter of a try down at the Medeski against London Irish last week, and he knocked the fullback out, Tonks, in doing so. Jared Williams takes the line out, and it's Bedford again, just trying to free the hands. This is good defensive work from Carnegie. They may have turned this one over. There's a real contest on the floor. Not rolling away is the verdict of the referee, and I think there may have been some back chat as well. I'm not sure if I'm doing him a disservice, but I think he pointed to Craig Mitchell. But it's a further 10 metres, and I wonder if Bedford will just have a go at the sticks from here. They're thinking about their options anyway. It's in midfield, and it's 5 metres inside the Bedford half. No, I don't know. Yes, they brought on the kicking tee for Jake Sharp. We're in the 13th minute. Bedford lead by 7 points to 0. This is going to be one heck of a kick up the slope. 45 metres on a flat surface. Add a few more on for the incline. Oh, he's given it a fair old lick. Oh, and he's got it through the uprights as well. Well, Bedford lead by 10 points to 0, and Carnegie know their discipline has to be spot on.
Yeah, he's just being a bit sloppy recently. Keep their composure.
That extra 10 metres gave him the shot at goal, didn't it?
Exactly.
Which he wouldn't have had otherwise. So it's,
you don't think about it in the heat of the moment.
Yeah. I know it's difficult, isn't it? Especially when you think the referee's got it completely wrong. So another restart, third one of the evening for Jay Turu. Not a brilliant touch find this time, but it still does advance up to the Bedford 10-metre line on this near side of the field.
I think this line will be really important.
So you're the second row, you're calling the lineouts. Where would you go?
Well, obviously back ball is the best kind of ball, and I don't think we've gone there yet, so I think we need to attack the back and try and give our backs the best platform to play off.
Oh, Bedford have stolen it. They've stolen that ball, and it's the captain Flanagan that got his 6'7" mitts on it.
I think we need to stay away from him in the lineups.
Exactly. And they didn't go to the tail as you suggested they should do. Box kick from Dixon lands on the 10-metre line. Thorogood is safe as houses underneath it. Taken to ground. Forwards through Buckle. Drive on. Adamson takes him to ground and then retires to the safety of the touchline. There's a Bedford player down, and it's the hooker Jacob Fields. Referee blows his whistle as the number 2 gets some attention. So at the moment, with almost 15 minutes played, Carnegie are finding it difficult to get a foothold into this game.
Yeah, I think we just need some points somewhere. We need to put a bit more pressure on Bedford. We've been playing in our own half pretty much the whole game, so we just need to get some territory.
Usually this bottom right-hand corner, because of the slope, is where number 10s go for, but Carnegie just haven't had the ball in the right positions to do it, even to kick it into the corner at the moment. You've got to say good play from Bedford. Whether they can keep this pace up for the whole of the game.
Oh, they've come out really strong.
Yeah, and of course in the second half they'll be playing down the slope, which makes life a lot easier. So we've got a delay as Claire is still getting some attention. You were telling me off air that because of your Irish roots, it took you to Connacht. Do you enjoy your time over there?
Yeah, I loved it. I spent 4 years there. Learned quite a lot. Obviously, I was there when they won the Pro 12 for the first time, which was
Pat Lamb was there, wasn't he then? Yeah. And Muldoon? No.
John Muldoon,
what a player.
Yeah, he's a serious player.
You obviously must love the rain and the wind.
Can't get enough of it.
So scrum down on the Carnegie 10-metre line, about 12 metres in from this near touchline. Brasilia to feed. That's a solid scrum from Carnegie. Dixon harrying, or trying to harry Brasilia. The ball is at the base now. It's time for Carnegie to get a penalty, and this one can go into that bottom right-hand corner. Solid scrum there. Bedford have a lot of experience in this side. They've got a couple of dual contracted players from Northampton. Boyd is here as well, the Northampton State's Director of Rugby, casting his eye over proceedings. And perhaps Jay Tarua will be disappointed he didn't get more on that one, because it goes into touch outside the Bedford 22. So there's a pod at the front. Tem has gone to the middle and it's taken cleanly now. The forwards will drive on. Wilson comes in to add his weight at the tail. Brasilia pointing, refereeing the game for the man in the middle, Matt Turvey. Still with Carnegie, but it's slow ball. It's kicked through by Williams, once of Carnegie. Referee has whistled for a penalty, not sure what for, but it is a penalty to Carnegie on the 22. Now this is, I'll be flabbergasted if this doesn't go 5 metres into the corner.
Seems like today might be a day where we might not get any chances, so this is going to be important.
Looks as if they're going to be few and far between, doesn't it? Whatever happens this evening, win or lose, Carnegie will not move anywhere in the table, but they will be looking over their shoulder at Richmond and Hartbury. Line out is taken at the front. Now they drive. All good body positions from Carnegie. They are up to the line, but defensively Bedford doing their best. Referee has his arm out. They've not got that ball over the try line. They're going to have another go. Bainbridge is standing out. He's talking to the referee. Another penalty. Is this going to be a yellow card? Referee's going to have a, maybe this will just be a warning for collapsing, I think will be the verdict of Mr. Turvey. I'm not sure if he spoke to anybody at all then. No, Jay Turua does kick it to within 5 metres, and this is what Carnegie specialise in.
Yeah, this is what the big focus is.
Very Exeter-like, aren't they? A take and drive. Got to get the ball first. Lineout's not functioned as well as it perhaps should have. Right, it's taken at the front. Now they drive. This surely must be a try. Can they get it down? Referee is on the spot. He blows his whistle. Oh, it's going to be a penalty try. A penalty try to Carnegie. Referee's had enough. He was very quick on the whistle in giving that one. So no need for. Is he going to get? Is he surely he should brandish a yellow card. A yellow card has been brandished, so we shall see who that is. And of course, with a penalty try now, there's no need for a conversion.
And also a yellow card. 10 minutes in the bin for Sean McCarthy.
So Sean McCarthy is gone.
Sponsored by the embankment.
So Carnegie, because Sean McCarthy is a prop, will be hoping there's a knock on or something, because they'll have to take a back row usually, or a wing off the field. Now Jake Sharp has done his best to keep Carnegie penned in their 22. Lukoc takes the restart and comes out of the 22. Always takes a few to bring him down. Leads by example. Now they're driving. Good hit there from Wilson. Still in the 22. Is that taken back in? Not sure what the call is. Can't hear the referee. That's going to land that box kick on the halfway line. Was he taken out in the air? What? I thought that was marginal, but the referee... Oh, never. He's just yellow carded Thorogood for taking the fullback out in the air. Your verdict on that, Cian?
That was a tough decision. I mean, he had his eyes on the ball the whole way, you could see, but it was just unfortunate that he let it go.
Well, in the mid, number 11, Miles Thorogood
has
taking the man out in the air.
A contest in the air gone out of the game, I wonder.
Yeah, I think it's tough to call that referee.
Well, I thought he was off his feet.
Yeah, I don't think a player ever intends to take someone out in the air.
So we are in the 22nd minute. Bedford lead by 10 points to 7, and it's 14 apiece. Line out to Bedford. They kick that penalty to the Carnegie 22 on this near side. It's taken at the tail. Laid back. Carnegie doing their best to disrupt. Now they come up the narrow side. And it's going to be Williams. They're going to go all the way. It's Dean Adamson scores yet another try, 11th try of the season to the left wing, and they were left exposed. It was where Thorogood would have been, but unfortunately he's in the bin, and that was a good reading from the Bedford number 8 Williams.
Yeah, great read.
Sensible rugby.
Sponsored by Optimist Consulting. It's Dino.
So Bedford with the conversion to come, lead by 15 points to 7. Now, would you put any blame on Carnegie for not guarding that blind side?
That is where the winger would have been, so there's not really much you can do there. You defend one space and they'll take the other. And
it all comes from a disputed penalty, as Thorogood took out Rich Lane, according to the referee, on the halfway line, and he is in the bin. So Sharp will attempt from this near touchline, correct side for the right-footed kicker, to add a further 2 points, and it's just going to go wide. So it's as you were. Bedford lead by 15 points to 7, and well, you've got to say that despite the fact that Carnegie have hardly been in the Bedford half, it's not a scoreline that is insurmountable.
Yeah, I mean, they've got points on the board and they haven't really had the ball, so I think that's testament to the fact that they haven't given up yet. They haven't put their heads down. They've kept pushing on.
That's a high hanging ball, and it's taken by the captain Flanagan. He turns and he tries to get out of the 22, which indeed he has done. Lays the ball back, and Lee Dixon is, well, he's not under any threat there because Carnegie have not loaded the breakdown. Mitchell is doing his best to disrupt Jacob Fields, the hooker. The ball is anybody's, and it's Joe Buckle. He offloads to Mitchell. Long pass there to Wilson. Wilson to Bainbridge. Lukoc has it in centre field, almost intercepted, but it's on the far side of the field. Carnegie just can't break through the Bedford defensive line. They come up very, very quickly, almost kamikaze tackling from the home side. Tarua to Smith. Pop ball there to Thomas. Elder! Oh, Elder just couldn't hold on to that ball. He came at speed, and if he had, it would have been a run-in under the post. Just couldn't hold on to it.
That was great play from Carnegie. They did well there. Just unlucky.
Very unlucky. it was really just a result of the speed that Elder came onto the ball. Tried to juggle it with his left hand, but, and here we go. This is a scrum down just outside the Bedford 22 in centre field, so they brought on a replacement prop, and they've taken Ryan Hutler off the field of play. So the right winger is having to sit this one out. As the sin bin on 22 minutes, still a fair bit to go on both sin binnings. McCarthy actually went off after 20 and Thorogood after 22. Front rows go to ground. Now they look to, well, I was going to say spread it wide, but Sharp just hoofs it upfield. Good tactics from the Bedford number 10. Elder with a long kick downfield, but doesn't find touch. And Dixon puts up a box kick. He's going to chase this. Tarua is underneath it, outside the 22. And he has Forsyth outside him, thinks of booting the ball. And that is a good tactic as well, because Jake Sharp is in no man's land. Now he scurries across, lets it roll and roll and roll. Nico is there, but can't put any pressure on the fullback. It's scooped up in the half, and a lovely chip through there from, looks like it was Forsyth, showing a turn of pace just outside the Bedford 22. Oh, and again Carnegie, according to the referee, Mr. Turvey, have committed some sort of offence, probably not letting the tackler get to his feet, and that is extremely frustrating. I think it was Forsyth that kicked the ball ahead. It showed a hell of a turn of speed. Not sure I should be surprised, but, but there we are. So they got the ball to within a couple of metres of the Bedford line, and then gave away a penalty. And
I think just got a bit excited.
And with the boot of Jake Sharp, I mean, he's going to punish you, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's kicked the ball to the Bedford 10-metre line on the far side of the field. Sharp, who's been about a bit, Coventry, under the Scottish, Sarries, Bedford twice, I believe. So it'll be a Bedford line out on the far side of the field. Fields to throw in, taken by Flanagan. He's the go-to man at the moment, and Bedford look to maul this upfield, perhaps winding down the sin binning. Now they go up the blind side, up the narrow side. They haven't got a right winger there, but it's taken on by Worthington, the Welshman from North Wales. Good tackle coming in there from Craig Mitchell. It's Williams dancing back inside. Big ball carrier. Perhaps didn't have the game time that he should have had. Oh, another penalty conceded. Hands on the floor is the verdict of the referee, and at the moment these continuing penalties are just killing Carnegie.
Yeah, they're going to add up, and I think someone's going to see the bin soon.
They might well have a second one in the bin if the officials' patience runs out. Are they going to go up the hill towards the posts? That's indeed what they're going to do. Line out on the far side, and last time they were in this position they scored a try. Now, as a line out forward, will the instructions be to stay on the ground or to go up and contest?
It depends. If we think we have a chance of taking it, then go for it. But if it seems in the last few lineouts that we've been getting close but not quite getting it,
so it's taken it. It's again taken in the middle, and bodies flying in all over the place. Mitchell is there trying to disrupt as well. He's not changed his binding as he's swimming around the side. No, he isn't. But Bedford might be close. 5 minutes. There's 5 metres from the line. There's a drive on, repelled by Carnegie. They're over the line. Referee's going round. Oh, another try scored. And again, it's on the far side of the field. A body of players. And Bedford now lead by 20 points to 7. And just bear in mind they're playing up the slope.
Yeah.
It's ominous. We're in the 30th minute.
So this time we think number 8, Jerry Williams.
Oh, Williams, he will love that against his old side.
Sponsored by Black Chair.
So Sharp with a conversion attempt from the 22, far touchline. He's going to have to swing this across the face of the post, a difficult one for the right-footed kicker. But you've got to give a lot of credit to Bedford. They know this ground, they know the slope, and they're playing the tactics. Unfortunately, at the moment, penalties are just playing into Bedford's hands. So Sharp. It's a packed crowd here tonight at Goldington Road. Didn't look as if he got the best connection. He didn't. And Bedford have 3 tries so far, and they lead by 20 points to 7. So I didn't notice. Is that sin binning over, I wonder?
I think I saw the prop coming back on.
So it's 15 against 14. Carnegie a man short at the moment, as they will be for the next 2 minutes according to my watch. Restart again goes long, and like a magnet, Williams, the try scorer, receives and goes outside the 22. Carnegie just not at all contesting the breakdown. They haven't got one player in there. Bedford have 5 or 6 forwards. Dixon puts up a Gary Owen. Elder takes it. Oh, brilliant work. Turned his back as well at the same time. So on the halfway line, Wilson. Oh, is that above the horizontal? Well, Lukoc takes it and carves back inside up to the 10-metre line. Strong run from the captain. Now Buckle. Carnegie look determined to get something here. Smith driving through. Back on the halfway line. And Thomas does ever so well to rescue that ball off his shoelaces. Terua to Lukoc. Oh, the ball is spilled forward. Referee plays advantage. Where's it going to go? Bedford continue to play this one, and they're over the halfway line. Gaps appearing. They could go all the way. This could be a tremendous try. And it was Matt Worley who had the ball. Brilliant run. Referee has his arm out and knock on, thankfully. I'm not sure how he found so much space, but he's certainly got a pair of wheels on him, hasn't he? So Miles Thorogood is back on the field. It's 15 against 15, but at the moment Bedford finding plenty of gaps, and you've got to say that besides some really good tactical kicking from the home side, they're not afraid to run it from everywhere.
No, well, that's what we know about Bedford. They will run it from anywhere.
They ran London Irish very close. I think there was 3 points in it at the end, and of course they had that unbelievable game against Coventry, winning 53-52 in the last, I think it was 8 minutes of injury time that they scored their try. Is that Wilson that's getting some attention, getting his left thigh bandaged. Just to remind you, late replacement Rich Mayhew just couldn't make it, and he had to pull out, and Antonio Kirikiri came off the bench. And the loanee from Bath, Levi Davis, came in to take his jersey, number 20. So Bedford lead here by 20 points to 7. And in truth, it could have been a lot worse.
A lot more, It's only 13 points in it.
That's the voice of Cian Romaine. Referee blows his whistle. And certainly at scrummage time, I think perhaps Carnegie shading it, but only just. So scrum down in the Carnegie 22, and it's the Headingley number 9 to feed this scrum. Carnegie just not managing to play in the right areas at the moment. Front rows again go to ground. Penalty this time given by the referee, and referees are rarely, they may have been backs, they're very rarely forwards, and I'm not sure they know what on earth is going on.
I think refereeing a scrum is one of the toughest things, and I think a lot of the time referees go with the team that's dominant. Like if the scrum goes down and one team's got 3 penalties from it, they'll usually go with them if they're not sure.
And we see in the Premiership the weight that comes through the scrum as well in the Championship. There's some big boys play in this league, isn't there? So that penalty was kicked to touch on the 10-metre line of Carnegie on the far side of the field, taken by Bainbridge. Ball is spilled backwards though, says the referee. Kiri has to work ever so hard to get this back the way of Carnegie. Bedford have dropped 2 players back for the box kick. Carnegie, they've just overran it, and they're going to have to stop and restart. Nico is there. Ball is spilled. Nico's got his hands on it. No, Carnegie have it through to. Well, the referee, a loud blast on his whistle. And, well, not sure what that penalty was for.
It's quite a late whistle.
Must have come from the, I can only assume it came from the touch judge.
Yeah.
But again, Cian, it gives Bedford a chance to escape.
Yeah. I mean, we just won that penalty in the scrum, bit of pressure taken off, and now it's straight back on again.
So we've got on the official clock, we have 4 minutes of this first half remaining. That ball is, it's an excellent touch find. You've got to give it to Jake Sharp. He knows this pitch like the back of his hand. And he's got within less than 15 metres of the Carnegie line on that far side of the field. Round 16 of the Greene King IPA Championship here on BBC Radio Leeds. Bedford already have 3 tries and they've won that line out. This time they don't drive, it's their hooker that takes it up the middle, fields towards the posts. There's a player, what's going on? There's another, it's a little ill-tempered this game. I think there's a fair bit of frustration from Carnegie as well as from Bedford. Not sure what happened there, did you see it? Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how the referee restarts this one. He stood well away, must be said. Yeah. Sensible man.
Yeah.
He's just letting things cool down. Is that Kiri that's getting some attention? Over there. There is a stoppage. There's a Carnegie player getting some attention. It looks as if it's his left shoulder. It's probably got a stinger, but the looks of it. Bedford lead by 20 points to 7. 2.5 minutes of normal time remaining. The physio has been on, so there will be some injury time. Just to remind you that Bedford are playing up the slope, so Carnegie will have literally an uphill task in this second half. Right, we're about to recommence. The referee has got the front rows set, and now they engage. This is a put in to Bedford, 8-9 metres away from the Carnegie line, just the right hand side of the uprights. Front rows go to ground once again. It's frustrating for players, but it's frustrating for the crowd when the referee just lets reset after reset take place. But as you say, it's almost a lottery, isn't it?
Yeah.
I noticed that Rugby League have introduced a thing they call I think they call it the stop clock or something, a shot clock. There's a timer for things to happen. I think kicks at goal, 30 seconds. They could well introduce the same thing for scrums.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good weapon for teams trying to run down the clock, because obviously it doesn't stop for resets.
Isn't it? So Dixon feeds the scrum, successfully feeds the scrum. Williams has it at the tail. Now they go down the right hand side, Dixon to the far side, and it's Hutler who's taken down by Miko. Good defensive work from Carnegie, but the ball is still with the Bedford Blues. Now they pick and drive, taken at source. Carnegie contesting the breakdown. Bedford not making any yards at the moment, but they still have possession. Driving again through field to Hooker. Two men drive him back. Mitchell is one of them. And again, Bedford drive. Adamson is standing on this touchline. The ball is knocked on. I thought the referee was saying knocked on. It was obviously through a Carnegie hand. Now they drive up the middle. They're within 5 metres. Flanagan has the ball, swivels, taken to ground. Good tackle there from Lucock. Lucock gets up and tries to get back in the defensive line. Hutler comes off his wing, and he's on this narrow touchline as well. Adamson goes back into centre field, but it's the forwards that take it and drive. There's a latch on there. Again, 10 metres from the Carnegie line, 15 metres in from this near touchline. We have played 40 minutes. Williams, the try scorer, drives, goes to ground. Crowd fancy that there's something on here. Again, they drive through their forwards. Brasilia is down. He gets back up to his feet. Dixon has the ball. Fields knocks the ball on. Referee is going to have a scrum down. There will be time to play this. We've got already played a minute of injury time. That was great defensive work from Carnegie.
Great pressure.
Really takes its toll, and I'm sure Chris Sterling will think that perhaps that's defensive work that it shouldn't have to be doing. They should be attacking down the slope in the Bedford corner, but Bedford, they just not let Carnegie have a sniff of it.
Question is, can they keep it up for the whole game? I'm not too sure.
Well, they're playing at a heck of a pace, aren't they?
Are.
Yeah. That was one of the suggestions to reduce the number of injuries, is to cut the number of substitutes. Cian Romaine shakes his head. I don't think he likes that idea. Free kick to... Oh, hang on a minute. Lee Dixon's had some back chat to the referee. Now, when Carnegie did it, it was a further 10 metres. Not this time, though. So it's a penalty to Carnegie. Might have been a free kick. It's hard to know. And I think Pete Lucock is just telling the referee that when they did it, it was 10 metres further in front. Not this time for Carnegie. It's just... it's good when you just get in the referee's ear. You don't want to overdo it, but you want to make your point.
I think one of the most frustrating things for a player is if a ref's inconsistent. So I think that he did well to keep calm when talking to him about that.
It's a penalty kick to the Carnegie 10-metre line, and again it was underthrown, and it's Bedford that take the ball through their captain Flanagan. He's really playing a captain's game here. Cousin is Devon Toner, and Matt Smith doing his best to disrupt Carnegie. Now they go up this narrow side. Adamson puts boot to ball. Dixon's ahead of the kicker, surely. Oh, referee says forward pass. He looks at his watch, consults the touch judge. We've played 3 minutes of injury time, but we will have time for the scrum down. That was a dangerous situation, and thankfully for Carnegie it was a forward pass.
I mean, the line-out hasn't been working all day today, and that was a bad area to lose the ball.
When those things happen, Cian, do you just keep it simple and throw it to the front?
Yeah, I mean, you got to win the ball where you can, and sometimes taking the front ball every time is the way to win it. But I think when you've lost line out after line out, you just need to regain composure and go to your options and think where they've been defending and where you think you can win it.
It's a difficult task for a hooker.
It is difficult.
It's a difficult skill. And confidence can wane as well. Good scrum there from Carnegie, and Dixon doing his best to disrupt Brasilia. The referee, well, I think the referee shirked that penalty. He blew his whistle for half time because Lee Dixon had a go at the Carnegie number 9, and they haven't had a yak at each other as they make their way to the changing rooms here at half time. Half-time score, Bedford lead by 20 points to 7. It could have been more. I assume he was injured in the warm-up. So Bedford will start playing down the slope here, leading by 20 points to 7. Ball is taken. I think it was Buckle that took that restart. Brasilia wants a guard for this box kick from inside the 22. Bedford offside. Will Carrick-Smith it is that overshot. Box kick goes into touch. Midway between the 22 and the halfway line on this near side of the field. So early pressure again from Bedford. What can Carnegie do here? Loud blast of the whistle from the referee. Wants a gap in that line out. 3, 4, 5 man line out. A pod is at the tail. They go to the tail. Straight off the top to Dixon. And across the 3/4 line. Coming in at speed was Rich Lane, but he was well marshalled and covered. Ball back on the 22. It's knocked on the 10-metre line, I should say. It was knocked on by Bedford. There'll be a scrum down to Carnegie and a chance to get upfield from inside their own half. Hard to know what Carnegie can do differently in this first half, in this second half. Kicking is going to be extremely important from Jay Turul. So scrum down. Problems at the scrum in that first half, a couple of flare-ups. Lee Dixon is, oh dear me, the front rows go to ground and the referee penalises Carnegie. And now I thought in the first half Carnegie just had the upper hand in the scrums.
That's the first penalty they conceded at the scrum.
The referee immediately blew his whistle, and I think there was a look of amazement on Carnegie's front rows, faces. That penalty is kicked to the corner, and again a really good kick from Sharp. That's within 5-6 metres of the Carnegie try line on the far side of the field. So Bedford starting this second half as they left off in the first. So Carrick-Smith again is at the tail of the line out. The support jumpers are there as well. There's a pod at the front. Where are they going to go? They go to the middle this time, and it's taken down through Flanagan, their captain, to drive to the line. Carnegie doing a job, but they sprint off and they splinter off, and they're up to the line. Haven't got it down. No, they go across the 3/4. Can't get through Carnegie's scramble defence. Coming through, almost an interception then from Forsyth. The referee, though, was playing advantage to... Oh no, I'm not sure what he's signalled there. Oh, he's given another penalty to Bedford, has he? Now Carnegie have to be alert here, because they could just tap and drive.
Yeah.
They haven't. They've kicked it to the corner. Not sure what that penalty was for, but it's yet another one conceded by Carnegie, who trail by 20 points to 7. We're in the 4th minute of this second period. Lineout is taken. Now the drive comes on from Bedford. There's an inevitability about this. Referee blows his whistle though. Was it robbed? Was that Kiri that got his hands on it?
Knock on.
Well, Bedford are human after all. Now, can Carnegie survive this onslaught? They will have to put into the scrum, which is taking its time to be formed. Mitchell is just cleaning his boots. Certainly don't want to give anything away here. Is there somebody getting medical attention? Because nothing seems to be happening at the moment. Oh, there's a substitution being made.
Looks like a substitution being made by Yorkshire Carnegie.
Coming on, it's
16, Donnellan.
Well, Donnellan's coming on. Is that Kiri coming off? Not sure
I think it's Miles Thorogood.
That is a strange one.
Yeah.
So where on earth is Donnellan going to play? Well, he doesn't look injured, does he?
No.
Well, it couldn't have been a yellow card.
No.
Because he'd have been, that would have been red.
Yeah.
So scrum. This is a mystery. We saw there's a secondary shove coming on from Bedford, and it's one heck of a mess. They just couldn't get the ball away. What's the referee going to give? A reset scrum or put into Bedford? Well, I've got to say, Cian, I'm baffled now as to what's happened there.
That's a very interesting one.
I think it was Thorogood who came off. His yellow card.
Well, I can't comprehend it. I don't know.
No.
So we've got, well, we should have now two hookers on the field,
Yeah.
and a left wing who isn't on the field. So scrum, it's reset, and this time Carnegie gain a penalty. Front rows didn't go to ground, so mystery to, I don't know what it was. Maybe pushing before the ball came in, but that's usually a free kick.
Yeah.
Anyway. The beers are being brought into the stand here at Goldington Road. Not for us though, Cian.
Come on, you bro!
Penalty kick to touch on the far side. 7 minutes played in this second half. Blues lead by 20 points to 7, as it was at half time. Well, I'm sorry to go on about this, but Miles Thorogood trotted off the field. He didn't look injured at all.
Yeah. I don't see Joe Buckle on the pitch either.
Unless,
Oh yeah, there's Joe down there. The two of them come off.
was somebody yellow carded? I don't know. Unless Buckle was yellow carded.
Oh, maybe.
And then
I think that might be it.
yeah, they've messed up that line out, Carnegie, and it's going to be a scrum down put into Bedford. At the moment, things going the way of the home side. Well, I'm sorry, listeners, but I can't enlighten you anymore. I didn't see the referee brandish a yellow card.
I can only imagine it must have been Joe for an infringement in the line-out.
Must have been.
And then they took Miles off as they needed a hooker.
That looks as if it's. We'll assume that's what happened anyway. It's almost an Agatha Christie mystery. Well, if he did go off, it was after 47. We'll assume it was a yellow. So scrum, it's a solid scrum to Bedford on the Carnegie 10-metre line. Now they come in field through their centre. Oh, and he's missed the tackle. That's Morris, the man on dual registration from Surrey's. Dangerous move here from Bedford. They're within 15 metres of the Carnegie line. Now they come back in field through Fields, their hooker. This is scrambled. Dixon has a dip for the line, passes the ball back inside. Good hands from Bedford, managed to rescue it off the floor. They're very, very close, just a metre or so. It's going to be the fourth try. Indeed, it is the fourth try. It's Worthington, the number 7 for Bedford, that has the fourth try and a bonus point with the conversion to come. It's Bedford Blues 25, Yorkshire Carnegie 7. Things going from bad to worse, Cian. It's going to be some rally if they can pull this one back.
Yeah.
At the moment, it looks as if a losing bonus point is the best thing they can hope for, but they're going to have to go some to get that playing up the hill. Sharp converts. Bedford now lead by 27 points to 7. 20 points ahead, and we've played 9 minutes of this second half. And there is a replacement coming on. Nick Mayhew is coming into the front row. I suspect it's for Craig Mitchell. Indeed, that's exactly what's happened.
Substitution for visitors, number 17, Nick Mayhew has come on.
Oh no, Mitchell is still on the field.
Bedford!
Yeah, it's Thomas that's come off. So Tarua goes long, taken by Hutler to Williams. Williams carried an awful lot of ball, but just inside his 22. Bedford not going to kick yet. Sharp is just waiting for this one. They may well run this. Wouldn't put anything past Bedford, but it's going to be a box kick from Dixon. Straight into touch, shepherded by Elder on the halfway line. Good kick from the ex-England scrum half. And Elder having a word with the touch judge. There's no point. Touch judge isn't going to concede any ground. You're wasting your breath and you're annoying the officials. So Dylan Donnellan. Did you ever play against Donnellan in Ireland?
I didn't actually. He was the year above me, so anytime we were underage, I never got the chance.
And you played for Ireland under 20s?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many caps did you get?
I think maybe 6 or 7.
Oh, you got that many that you can't remember. Line out is won by Kiri at the front. Carnegie keeping it simple. Now they drive. Bedford have to get their forwards back in position. Offside is the verdict of the referee. It will be a penalty to Carnegie. Now, can they get this in the corner? Kicking uphill. Jay Tarua on the Bedford 10 metre line, 6 metres in from this near touch line. He's got his eyes on the prize here. What can he do? He's not taken too much out of the whitewash, and it'll be a line out on the Bedford. 20 metres from the Bedford line. Better than I thought. So Nick Mayhew is on. Did I see Andy Foster come on as well?
Yeah, Andy Foster's come on.
Into the front row. So fresh legs. Can they make an impression? A whole new front row. Dylan Donnellan has a towel, wipes the ball. Has the ball above his head. Full line out. Taken by Bainbridge. Drop down there to Wilson. Wilson to Donnellan. He's taken down. Good move from Carnegie, but again, defensively, Bedford are very good. Good feet there from Kiri. Makes 4-5 metres. Coming from deep is Smith, but again, defensively, Bedford are very, very strong. They're offside there, but the touch judge doesn't give it. They just shot out of the line too quickly. A pick and drive there from Carnegie. Thought it was Foster that did it. Now they come the direct route. Donnellan it is. Spread it to Bainbridge. Bainbridge back to Kiri. Has to use quick hands now. Nico on a lateral run across the 22, looking for support. Comes back towards this near touchline. He's like a jack in the box. Scrum half is Donnellan now. Back to Lucock, and Carnegie losing ground. Lucock crawls a further couple of metres in centre field. Brasilier to Tarua, a long pass over the top to Elder. Elder puts his foot on the gas, pass one, he's going to get in at the corner. Great work from Elder, comes round to the post, make the conversion a lot better, and for once things just slotted into place for Carnegie.
They needed that one.
They did indeed need it, and it was good continuity in the end, and Nico went on a mazy run, came back, he went to the right, he went to the left, and then that long pass. I think it was Tarua's long pass.
Yeah, it was,
to Elder. Elder still had an awful lot to do.
Yeah, he did well.
So we've played 54 minutes here. Carnegie back in the race. They've given themselves a chance. So Tarua from the 22, 20 metres out. Takes no time, puts it through the post. Jay Tarua adds the 2. Carnegie are up to 14. Bedford Blues 27. And replacements in the front row for Bedford. Ty McElroy comes on. He's an Irish under 20 international. As Ben Cooper also comes onto the field of play. He leaves Bedford at the end of the season. Former London Welsh player, been with the club twice. And there's a Carnegie player getting some attention. It's Lucock has his head bandaged. His head will have to be on the floor, detached from his body, before he comes off the field of play. He is one hard man. He's captain tonight as well, in the absence of Rich Mayhew. And Matt Smith takes the restart in the 22. Carnegie really quickly want to get out of this position, playing up the slope. Playing the ball through hands, it's the replacement hooker, Donnellan, that has the ball. It'll be a box kick surely from Brazilian, left-footed. Now Bedford jumped the gun, have to go back. It's going to land on the halfway line. How good is the chase? Oh, Nico, brilliant work from the right wing, but again Bedford retained possession. Certainly been very skillful in retaining the ball. Williams throws over the halfway line. Sharp goes to the corner, and it's going to bounce brilliantly. What a fillip that is for a pack of forwards. When your fly half does that, sticks you down into the corner. Hard to see from here, but probably 18 metres from the Carnegie try line, so they're penned in this corner at the moment. What do you reckon this line-out call is going to be, Cian?
I reckon they'll play it safe. Yeah, freeload.
They did play it safe, and it was Dan Temp that takes it. Now they look to run it out. It's Wilson, the 21-year-old for Carnegie, that has the ball. The reception committee was waiting for him. Bedford turning the screw. They just do not want to let Carnegie out of their 22. And Lucock with a booming kick across field for Elder to take. Was he taken out in the air? The ball bounces the way of Bedford. Fortunately, they've managed to run the ball into touch under pressure from Carnegie on that far side.
I think that was a great option they took.
It was.
Yeah.
Pity Elder just couldn't get to the point of the ball, but Josh Bugia comes on for Bedford.
Make your way, it is number 7, Hugh Worthington's going to come off.
The Welshman comes off to a round of applause, well deserved as well. The Bedford pack has performed as a unit. Standing out though is their number 8, Williams. Oh, good take there from Carnegie, from Tem, who's wearing 4 in the absence of Mayhew. Keeping the ball in hand. And I suspect that is the best way to counter Bedford at the moment. Just to remind you, 27-14, the box kick does go up. There's a contest there, it's slapped backwards. Sharp again. He has one thing on his mind, and that's to kick the ball downfield. It might just roll and roll dead. Oh, unfortunately for Carnegie, it stops before it goes dead, and Tarua kicks the ball upfield. It's on the Bedford 10-metre line, infield to Rich Lane. He decides to run it, but he only finds Kiri. Now, have Carnegie turned this over? Yes, they have. Nick Mayhew passes the ball out, and for once possession is with Carnegie. A lovely pass there to Bainbridge. Wilson, Forsyth, Elder to Nico. Nico, oh, is he going to get to the try line? Yes, he does. What a powerful run. Great counter-attacking from Carnegie, and that was never a foregone conclusion. Brilliant work from Nico and from Carnegie. With a conversion to come, Bedford lead by 27 points to 19. Carnegie have their 3rd try of the evening. This is turning into one second half.
They obviously had a good talking to at half time.
Carnegie, well, the box kick did come from Tarua. They tried to pass it out from their 22, but it was quick hands and plenty of speed from the 3/4. Nick Mayhew it was that turned over the ball. So Tarua Every point is going to be important, you feel, this evening. We're coming up to the 60-minute mark. So correct side for the right-footed kicker, but he's hugging the touchline. With the angle, this must be 27, 28 metres. He's given it a good lick. Oh, he's got it through the uprights as well. Oh, brilliant work. And there are just 6 points in it now. Bedford lead by 27 points to 21. And this game, as you would think that the team playing down the slope would have the advantage, it's not the way it's panned out. So there's, I think it's Dan Tem getting some attention on the far side. It looks as if he's going to have to come off. Who would go on in his place?
Kieran Frost, I think.
Well, they're taking their time. He's still on the field of play. I think that may be Nick Mayhew getting attention as well. It's hard to tell. Bedford making more substitutions. Yeah, Toby Trinder coming on. So fresh legs in the front row for the home side as well. They really like their rugby and they appreciate good play as well down here. Lee Dixon's got a knot to the neck, and is it his neck or his shoulder? He's coming off, and James Lennon, he's another Irish under-20. You're monopolising the championship. Yeah, he was with Sarries Academy and with Munster Academy as well. Born in Enfield. What a coincidence. Yeah. So restart is taken by Smith in the 22. Comes outside. Bedford just laying off at the moment. Not counter-rucking as they were in the first half. Protection there for Brasilia. Tarua is standing back, but it's the box kick from the Carnegie number 9. Taken well on the 10-metre line. I think it was Adamson. No, it wasn't. It was Lane, the fullback, coming into the line. The ball is knocked backwards, said the referee. It was spilled, but play on. Bedford through Coulson, I think, returning after a long injury. And now it's Sharp back inside to Morris, the man dual registered with Sarries as well. Oh, penalty conceded by Carnegie. Offside is the verdict of the referee. I'd be surprised if Bedford don't have a go at the sticks with this one. It's in centre field. So have they called for the kicking tee? It looks as if they have. And it's Sharp from about 30 metres out, almost directly in front of the post, down the slope. 63 minutes played. And Bedford trying to make this a 2-score game for Carnegie. A successful kick. Bedford lead by 30 points to 21. And if you're the Bedford coach, that's exactly what they wanted, to just stem the momentum of Carnegie. They need to score twice to gain the lead. They need one more try, Carnegie that is, to get a losing bonus point.
I mean, it's been about 15 minutes since Bedford last scored, so they needed to get some scores on the board.
So Bedford have just lost one of their line-out options. Paddy Ryan, Australian, is on the field, and Carrick Smith is off, and it's that man Williams that receives the restart, taken to ground by Smith, but he's outside the 22. So Lennon will have his first piece of the action. He wants a guard, taken back inside, can't go directly to touch. Crossing is the verdict of the referee. It's a penalty to Carnegie. I
can kind of see that coming when you have backs coming in to do forwards jobs.
So this is a penalty 15 metres in from this near touchline and just outside the Bedford 22. 64 minutes played. Bedford lead by 30 points to 21. They should go for the corner. They are going to go for the corner. Just to remind you that they've already scored 3 tries. The first one a penalty try after 20 minutes. Elder and Elijah Nico, the other 2. Good second half for Carnegie. At the start of it, we thought there's no way back.
Yeah.
Doubting Thomas's. So that was a good kick to within 5 metres. Taken at the front. Referee blows his whistle. He wants it reset. Fortunately for Carnegie, it will be a reset lineup. They're going to have a go again. I think it was not maintaining the gap. I mean, he's not that clear with his signals, is Matt Turvey. Goes to the tail. It's taken at the tail by Wilson. Now they're within a couple of metres. The Bedford line, that was sacked. Taken to ground. The ball is anybody's. Play on, says the referee. Pick and drive. Very, very close. Forwards. Up to the line. Just can't get across it. Scramble defence. Urgency from Bedford. Coming from deep is Nico. And they've got their 4th try.
Oh, yeah, I think that was Pete.
It was Pete Lucock, yep. And Nico's got a headband. Pete Lucock's got a headband. And Carnegie have their 4th try. What a game we've got here with the conversion to come, which is right in front of the posts. Carnegie a trail by 4 points. Hopefully that will be reduced to just 2. They do some big scoring games here at Bedford. That is slotted. Carnegie trail by 2 points. Bedford 30, Yorkshire Carnegie 28. 66 minutes played. There is plenty of time for Carnegie to get back into the Bedford half and snatch this game, but discipline, Cian, is going to be important. Smith takes the ball at the restart, not for the first time. Bedford, they look as if they've lost a bit of their momentum. They're not as sharp as they were, certainly in the first half.
Yeah, they started so well. It's tough to keep it up for a whole game for any team.
Ball on the halfway line. Oh, that could be a yellow card. And there's a little bit of afters as well. There was a Carnegie player taken above the horizontal. Referee immediately blew his whistle. And the physios are on, giving some attention. Was it Bainbridge in at the tackle? Williams is taking exception. This could well... this might even be red, is he?
No, he's giving a yellow.
Who is it that's done off?
Bainbridge.
It is Bainbridge. Well, we're not sure. We think that may be the 3rd yellow card.
Yeah, I think it has been.
So that's a body blow. 68 minutes played here, and yet another yellow card conceded. That penalty, I tell you what a fly half Jake Sharp is. He's kicked that to within 5 metres. He gambled a little bit, but with his skill, was it a gamble? Carnegie are on the ropes. Whatever happens, they will have a losing bonus point, but from this position, with the momentum that they had, they're going to be desperately disappointed not to win this one. But they've got an awful lot of defending to do, and they're a forward down. The ball is taken in the middle. It's knocked down. It comes back the way of Carnegie. Carnegie behind their touchline. Now they look to run it out through Nico. Fends off one. He's just outside the Carnegie try line. They're going to have to work hard to get away from this position. They've managed to get a couple of metres further upfield. It's becoming a little fractured at the moment. Carnegie need cool heads. Oh, it's charged down. Is it going to go dead? Yes, it is. It's going to be a dropout 22. In the end, that wasn't a bad result.
That was a great result.
It was a kick from Brasilia that was charged down, but it went dead, so it'll be a dropout 22. Pete Lucock, head bandaged, and Elijah Nico, that's more of a sweatband, I think, for him than anything else. It puzzles me when 3/4 wear scrum caps. Restart. Dropout lands on the halfway line. Oh, brilliant work there from Lane, the full-back. A little chip and chase there. Who's going to win the touchdown? It's Adamson, it's Bedford that have it. Oh dear me, Bedford have their 5th try of the evening. And the advantage swings back the way of Bedford Blues. With a conversion to come, they lead by 35 points to 28. With 10 minutes remaining, 70 minutes played here at Goldington Road. Oh, it's Lennon, the replacement scrum half that had it. It could have been Adamson, he went through. Good work though from Bedford.
Yeah, they're so good.
You've got to say.
That was a great try.
Brilliant work from Lane. The ball landed on the halfway. He had only one thing in his mind, that was to set off downfield, down the hill. And it was good teamwork that saw the replacement scrum half, James Lennon, cross for their 5th try of the evening. What a game we've got. Sharp with a simple conversion. Just to the right-hand side of the posts. Slots it. And Bedford now lead by 9 points. 37 points to 28. But there's still time, Cian.
There is.
Certainly Carnegie can be proud of their second half performance. First half they'll probably want to forget. But discipline is still a problem.
Yeah.
We've got a delay as the captain, Mark Flanagan, former Leinster Munster player. Had a spell with Sarries. He played in the Pro de Deux as well in France. So Tarua goes long into the 22, and his man Williams said it was a magnet, and it is. Still inside the 22. Referee says it's an even contest for the ball. So Bedford again, a pod of players, and it's Cooper, former London Welshman, who takes it still inside the 22. Back in their own half is Tarua and Elder waiting for this kick from Lennon. He goes long and he's found touch as well, probably on the 10-metre line, Bedford 10-metre line. So ball turned over to Carnegie. What can they do with this? 8 minutes of normal time remaining. Just to remind you that Carnegie are down to 14 men as Sam Wolstenholme comes on, and
Substitutions.
Kieran Frost comes on.
Levi Davis, I think.
It is Levi Davis that comes on, the man that's just come this week from Bath, so he will say hello to his new teammates. He looks as if he's a flyer. So that was who's come off? Thorogood's off.
Number 9.
So Wolstenholme feeds Wilson. No Bainbridge at the moment. Long pass to Elder. Oh, Elder to Davis. Up to the 10-metre line. What a strong boy. Back inside to Elder. Brilliant. A dummy. And it's Forsyth, I think it is.
Oh, yeah,
almost
Forsyth.
up to the line. Now can Carnegie do something with it? Davis, has he got across the whitewash? Oh, he's very, very close. Second touch of the game. Referee has his arm out. What can Carnegie do from here? They've got the ball. Crossfield kick. Nico has it. Oh, he spilled it backwards. This could be a try. It is a try. Kiri. Oh, what a score. This is a topsy-turvy game. It was a crossfield kick. Nico couldn't catch it, but he spilled it backwards over the try line. Kiri comes and scores another try for Carnegie. Again, 33 points to 37 they trail with a conversion to come. What a game of rugby we're seeing here. And you've got to give credit to Kiri. He was Johnny on the spot, wasn't he? He didn't give up on it. Now Tarua. What can he do?
I think Elijah, even though he didn't catch it, he did well to position his body so that he dropped it, but it went backwards.
He was calling for it as well. Now Tarua just has to calm himself. Correct side of the field again for the right-footed kicker. He's giving it a good lick.
That was a great kick.
It is a great kick. It's through the uprights. It's just a 2-point game. Bedford Blues 37, Yorkshire Carnegie 35. Grandstand finish, still 5 minutes plus injury time. Oh, I bet you'd love to be out there, Cian. He's twitching next to me in anticipation. What a game. Can Carnegie pull this one out of the fire? Bedford persisting, aiming the restart at Smith, and he's been safe as houses. Just crawls a couple more meters, vital meters. Penalty conceded by Bedford. All the decisions this time are going the way of the Yorkshiremen. So Kiri just needs to get this off the field. No need to be too ambitious. And he's just hooked it a little bit, unfortunately. Goes into touch just inside the Bedford half of the field. We thought that Bedford couldn't keep up that pace, and they do, despite the fact that they brought on a load of subs off their bench. They look to be flagging, and Carnegie's spirits are certainly up. They trail by 2 points, 4 minutes of normal time remaining. They need to get on with this. The ball is with Dylan Donnellan, just inside the Bedford half. It's knocked backwards, but Donnellan takes the spilled ball. It was a Bedford Blues hand that knocked it on. Referee's not playing advantage, but the looks of it. Driven upfield, just a couple of meters by Wilson. The young man's done a lot of ball carrying. Wilson home with a box kick. Who's going to chase this one? It's going to land on the 22. Nico is there as well, trying to get hold of Lane. Lane, the fullback, up to the Bedford 10-metre line. High tackle is what the crowd say. Keep your hands down. Oh, a penalty conceded by Carnegie. Your verdict, was it harsh?
That's a tough one. I mean, he's going down in the tackle, so it was high, but I mean,
Nick Mayhew it was. Yeah. So Bedford able to escape, and the clock is running down. 3 minutes of normal time. There will be some injury time to play here at Goldington Road. Another cracker of a game. Friday night floodlit rugby brings out the best of players and supporters. Carnegie still down to 14. Bainbridge off the field, and we think there's been 3 yellow cards. Difficult to tell. Line out is won by Flanagan. Did he have his legs taken away? Referee is going to have a word with the captain, and this is just unfortunate. Cian playing into Bedford's hands. Second row had his legs taken, and I think this could be a team warning now. Crowd not happy that.
I think they would be.
Well, I mean, to be honest, they've played 3 lots of 10 minutes with 14 men. To be within 2 points is remarkable, but having won a penalty, they've conceded 2 on the bounce, and again, Bedford are back into the 22 of Carnegie with just 2 minutes of normal time remaining. Bainbridge is on the sidelines. Will he be able to get back on to the field of play? They've got a line out to defend. Just 5 metres from the Carnegie line. It's won in the middle by Flanagan, the captain. They've swivelled round. Where are they? They're up to the line. Have they managed to get the ball down over the line? Oh, everybody is trying to prevent a score. The referee holds his hand up, and Bedford have their 6th try of the evening. And we will tell you who has scored that.
Scoring the try, number 16, sponsored by Eagle Brewing, Tang McElroy.
It's the replacement hooker, McElroy, that has the ball down. And if this is converted, Carnegie will not get a losing bonus point. They've already got a bonus point for 4 tries. They need this one to miss. And all that coming from 2 penalties conceded in rapid succession. Bainbridge goes back towards Dave Baldwin, the rugby manager. Sharp with a difficult conversion. He's going to have to, he's just brought it 20 metres out, but he's going to have to go across the face of the post. And he slots it. And Bedford now lead by 44 points to 35. And if it finishes like this, Bedford will have 5 points for the victory Carnegie won when they were looking at perhaps 5 themselves. Nico takes the restart up to the 22. Oh, brilliant work, still going. The ball with Tem. The referee has penalised Bedford. Now Carnegie need to stop this. There's a tussle on the floor. Discipline needs to be at the forefront. Tarua is there as well. The referee is just standing. He's already awarded a penalty to Carnegie. Cool heads are needed. Bainbridge, will he get back on? No, just to remind you, well, I was going to say it was 14 against 15.
I think Kieran Frost has come on.
Yeah, he has. He's wearing a Lamalu's 19 jersey. So a penalty to Carnegie. I hope he's not going to reverse this.
No, I don't think he will.
So the two captains are having a talking to. It's a penalty to Carnegie. 12 metres away from the Bedford line, 12 metres from this near touch line. And that was a great work from Elijah Nico. Unreal.
I'm not sure what they'll do now, whether they'll take the points and get the losing bonus or go for the draw.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, it's a good point. Do they go for 7 points? Do they go for? I think Lucock's having a word with. He's just getting some other heads for their opinion. They'd still be within 2 points. Actually, they may as well go for the 3.
Yeah.
Nico's coming across to have a word with the referee for some reason. I think they may well be asking how much time is left.
Yeah.
There's a fair old conflab.
I think points is the
fair bit of pressure on Jake Tarua for this penalty. So we've played 2.5 minutes of injury time, and they are going to go for the sticks. We are in the 83rd minute here at Goldington Road. This could well be the last action of this game. Tarua from outside the 22, again correct side for the right-footed kicker. He's had a good evening off the tee, but this is important. He struck it well. He struck it through the post under an awful lot of pressure. Carnegie trail by 38 points to 44. There will be time for the restart. So this is important that they get their exit strategy correct. So I think that Carnegie are back up to 15.
Yeah.
So, the one man you don't want to get the ball is Elijah Nico. Brushes off one. Outside, I think he's outside the 22. Carnegie living dangerously. Tarua throws a pass to Lucock. Some kamikaze tackling coming in from Bedford, and whoever it was, the Bedford player is down injured. Can Carnegie profit from this? Dantem looks to offload. Great cover though. And Davis, the young man from Bath, was there. Johnny on the spot. And it's Kieran Frost that carries the ball. Well, Carnegie is certainly going for it. Lucock with a long pass to Elijah Nico. Nico up to the halfway line, dips his shoulder. He's just a half a metre from this near touchline, but Bedford have turned it over, have they? No, they haven't. Carnegie still have the ball. And it was Elder that was on the spot there. And again a breakaway from Carnegie. Just cannot get away from the defensive work of Bedford. Nail-biting finish 5 minutes of injury time played. Carnegie on the Bedford 10-metre line. They are playing like hares. And Lucock offloads to Forsyth. Forsyth is taken down. Needed to be as well. Desperate defence from Bedford. Carnegie trail by 6. A converted try would give them the lead. Elder in the fly half position. Thinks about the pass. Takes the contact. He needs some help. Cleaned out there on the floor by Frost. Back to Lucock. Forsyth to Elder. Elder over the 10-metre line. Have Davis outside him. Will he give it? Comes back inside to Forsyth. Forsyth back inside to Tem. Tem goes under the post. Oh, brilliant work from Dan Tem. What an end to this game. 5.5 minutes of injury time, and Carnegie players celebrate like they've won the league. What a game of rugby.
Incredible rugby.
What a game of rugby, but the conversion still needs to be slotted. Carnegie trail by a point, 44 points to 43, with the conversion to come. The conversion from in front of the post. What a second half performance by the visitors. Wow. That's all you can say is wow. Tarua slots it. The referee blows his whistle, and that is the end of the game. 86 minutes played, and Carnegie, for the first time in the game, lead. Not only do they lead, they win by 45 points to 44.